It's that time again. Welcome back to the vlogs. I believe this is vlog number 6. Thank you for tuning in again with me. And this week, I'm going to be talking about myself some more. Mostly because I couldn't think of anything else that I thought I could talk for at least 4 minutes on, because my previous vlogs have gotten progressively shorter every single time. And I was going to try to do this without turning on the air conditioner because it hurts the audio quality, but it's already getting hot in my car, so we'll just have to go with it. There we go. Alright, this time I'm talking about my favorite cars. And it's not just any certain list. I've tried to narrow it down to a few special categories. What categories might that be? Well, without further ado, let's begin. I'll start with European cars, since that's probably where my shortest list would be. I'm not a huge Euro fan, largely because of the typically higher reparation costs, or the higher fixing costs of European cars. BMWs, Mercedes, Audis, things like that typically cost more than your average run-of-the-mill American car to fix. Now, they're supposed to be more reliable to somewhat offset that, but that's a debate for another time. Anyway, what's my favorite European car? I'm not really big into classic European cars, which I'll name classic and modern for the other categories. But my favorite overall European car, especially modern, is the new Jaguar F-Type. I really like the way it looks, I like the way it sounds, but most importantly, I like how it's supposed to be really fast, and, again, really loud when there's someone on a bicycle. Okay, moving right along to the next two categories that will each only have one occupant, because there's so many to choose from. Trucks. My favorite truck is the 3rd generation Dodge Ram. Now, you're probably wondering why, and that's a good question. The reason is, my dad bought a 2003 Dodge Ram, which is the second year for the half-ton to be in the 3rd generation. 2003 Dodge Ram, 1500, short bed, short wheelbase, 4-wheel drive with the first year of the 5.7 liter Hemi. Well, that was in July 2003. It's April 2017. They still make that engine. They have moved on to the next generation of Dodge trucks, and I still think Dodge trucks are the best looking ones on the road. Comment below if you disagree, or if you do happen to agree. It's really made an impression on me. I really like that truck. It has dual exhaust. It sounds very nice. It pulls well. It goes off-road if you need it to. And it's an all-around good truck, knock on wood, as they say. Next up, SUVs. I really like Jeeps. Jeep is definitely my favorite SUV brand, but that's a little vague. So I'll go back to a time when even luxury SUVs, I'm not talking about the G-Wagon, had solid axles front and rear. If you haven't guessed it by now, being Jeep with solid axles all the way around, well, the Jeep Wagoneer, which is better known as the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, because in 1984, I think, the XJ line of Jeeps came out, and the Wagoneer went to the Cherokee platform, and the original Wagoneer became the Grand Wagoneer. It's the same car, pretty much, or SUV, per se, as it was before. Why do I like the Grand Wagoneer? Simple. It's rugged. I think it looks really good. At least earlier years look like garbage. Well, like prior to 1968, I think. And it's capable off-road, capable on-road. What's not to love about a 4-wheel drive, solid axle, V8 station wagon? So is it an SUV? Yeah, it's an SUV. Next, Japan. Oh, wait. it's not just Japan, it's Asian cars. You'll see why in a minute. Favorite all-time Japanese car? The Datsun 240Z. It just looks so good. It's a beautiful car. I've never had the pleasure to drive one, but I've seen quite a few. And I would love to own one, but I'm terrified that I would buy one that's rusted out, as many of them tend to be. But lightweight, straight six, you can't go wrong with that. You're wondering why I said Asian. That's because my favorite modern import car is the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I looked at them prior to getting this Camaro that I'm driving right now, but as it was going to be a graduation present, I didn't have too much say, and Genesis Coupe for the V6 was a little too expensive. I do like the way they look, and I like the fact that they have about at least the later ones, have about 350 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated V6. Finally, we're moving on to America. Alright, so my favorite modern American car. Simple. The Challenger Hellcat. And bear with me for a second while I turn around, because I just remembered I'm driving down the road that I did in another vlog that turns to gravel. Okay, back to the Challenger Hellcat. It's a Challenger, first of all, which is a win in my book. Best looking modern car on the road, bar none. Deal with it if you don't agree. Also, 707 horsepower. I'm pretty sure that's the most ever in a production American car, unless you're counting hypercars or supercars. And maybe more than those, I don't know. 707 horsepower, supercharged V8, loud exhaust, burns tires, goes fast, may not turn, but it's America. We go in straight lines. Straight lines bring me to my final car on the list, my favorite classic American car and favorite overall car, the 1965 Pontiac GTO. Now, the 65 GTO is generally not even most people's favorite GTO. Most people like the later ones and the Judge years. The Judges are great, but I prefer the 65. I think stacked headlights look really good, and I like it has simple lines and straight lines for the most part. The 66 and 7 GTOs are up there as well for my favorite, as far as my favorite aesthetics go. But the lines on those get a little curvier, and the 66 taillights look like a spaceship. Of course, the 65 taillights look kind of strange too, but there's not much that compares to the way the 66 looks from behind. It's just a little weird. Anyway, I believe that's about all for this vlog, seeing as my GoPro is showing about twice the length of last week's video. Actually, more than that, I believe. So, my favorite car, 65 GTO, 389 V8. Can't go wrong with that. Well, I'm sure some of you would disagree, but that's your opinion. You're watching my opinion for some reason, and I thank you for doing so. Please tune in next time. I don't know what I'll be talking about, and next Monday we'll hopefully have an episode of College Cars. I don't know what's going to be on that either. Thanks for watching.